In parts of Igbo land, a single word can destroy your future. Not crime, not failure, but your birth. And once that word is attached to your name, it can follow you for life. Hidden beneath the rich culture and traditions of the Igbo land lies a system many don't talk about openly. A system that divided communities, controlled marriages, and shaped destinies for generations. This is the story of the Oh-soo caste system, a tradition rooted in spirituality, but one that still sparks controversy today. And the real question is, why does it still exist? Long before colonial rule, before modern laws and education, Igbo society operated on deeply spiritual beliefs. Every community was governed not just by people, but by gods. Shrines were powerful, deities were feared, and offerings were sacred. But here's where things get interesting. Some individuals were dedicated to these gods, not as worshippers, but as property. They were called Oh-soo, people set apart for the deity. They lived near shrines, served spiritual purposes, and were believed to belong to the gods themselves. At first, this was not seen as punishment. It was seen as sacred, but that perception didn't last. Over time, something changed. What was once spiritual became social, and then it became discrimination. The Oh-soo were no longer just servants of the gods. They became outcasts. They could not marry freeborn individuals. They could not hold titles. They were excluded from community decisions. And slowly, a line was drawn. On one side, the freeborn, known as Diala. On the other, the Oh-soo. No crossing, no mixing, no escape. And what happened next shocked generations. This status became permanent, not just for one person, but for their children, and their children's children. A label turned into a lifelong sentence. Imagine growing up knowing, no matter how educated you are, no matter how successful you become, you are still seen as less than. That was the reality for many Oh-soo families. Marriage proposals rejected, friendships broken, families divided. Love itself became forbidden. But here's where things get even more complicated. Many people didn't even know they were Oh-soo until it was too late. A relationship would progress. Plans would be made. Then suddenly, a discovery, and everything would collapse. This is where everything changed. Because the system was no longer just tradition. It became fear. When British colonial rule arrived in Nigeria, and Christianity began to spread, many believed the Oh-soo system would disappear. After all, Christianity preached equality. One God, one people. And for a moment, it seemed possible. Churches began accepting Oh-soo members. Some missionaries openly condemned the caste system. But tradition doesn't disappear overnight. Even converts to Christianity continued to avoid marrying Oh-soo. The belief had gone deeper than religion. It had become identity. And identity is hard to erase. Today, Nigeria is modern. Education is widespread. Cities are growing. People are more connected than ever. But in some communities, the Oh-soo system still exists. Quietly, silently, powerfully. People still investigate family backgrounds before marriage. Some still reject relationships based on ancestry. Some families still carry the stigma. But here's the most disturbing part. Many who uphold the system no longer fully understand why it exists. It has become inherited prejudice, a tradition followed without question. Not everyone accepts this reality. Activists, scholars, and community leaders have been pushing back. Campaigns have been launched. Laws have been passed in some regions to outlaw discrimination. Voices are rising, calling for change, calling for equality, calling for the end of a system that divides people by birth. But change is slow, because this is not just a legal issue. It's cultural, it's emotional, it's deeply rooted in identity. And here lies the real conflict. A system once meant to honor the gods has become a source of human suffering. A tradition meant to protect society now divides it. And the biggest question remains. If everyone agrees it is wrong, why does it still exist? The answer is uncomfortable. Because systems like this don't survive on logic. They survive on fear, on silence, and on the weight of tradition. The story of the Oh-soo caste system is not just about the past. It is about today. It is about identity, belief, and the power of tradition. It forces us to ask difficult questions. Can culture be challenged? Can tradition be changed? And who decides what should remain and what should end? Because sometimes, the most powerful systems are the ones no one talks about. If this story made you think, or challenged what you believed, then it's a conversation worth continuing. Share your thoughts below, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories that uncover the hidden sides of history.